And we're back for another video with the 5 Series. This is going to be a quick one. This is going to be an explanation on the different modes you can get in your BMW. These are the drive modes. Let me just put my seatbelt on. These are the drive modes that you'll have. Oh, she needs to get cleaned. In your BMW, a lot of older ones come with these drive modes too. The newer ones, you got like Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro, and if you had the adaptive suspension in this 3 Series, it'd be right over here. But there's even more in these. So to show you guys, this is gonna be just a quick explanation on what I noticed between the different modes. So we're gonna start off in Eco. So you have standard and you have individual, and you can configure individual where you can like change the notification settings. So like this one's set to 80 miles an hour. So if you look at the gauge over here, the 80 miles an hour, past it is white to tell you that you're going over 80. You can set it to coast. Eco Pro seat heating, which I don't know what that does. Eco Pro, I know the climate controls. What? Okay, I never played with this that much. So I know the climate controls will adjust themselves, but apparently this one will also adjust the light. So the heat coming from the exterior mirror and window heating reduced. Efficient light control. I don't know what that means, but it'll drive the car more efficiently. It'll also coast, which is the biggest thing in Eco mode. So if you're driving in Eco mode and you take your foot off the gas, you'll see this needle, the MPG needle, that's usually hovering around like, you know, whatever MPG you're currently at. It'll hit the 90, and it's because the engine's like disengaged. It's just coasting. I can't really tell if the engine shuts off when it's coasting, because I'm always driving, but it's gonna be coasting, and it'll actually use the auto start stop to turn off. And it tells you over here how many miles of fuel you've gained or range you've gained from using Eco, as well as how many miles you have coasted. And for me, a lot of people complain and say, oh, it's too slow, it's too this, it doesn't react. I drive with it just fine. I usually use it mostly in like the highways or like back roads when I'm not tearing or hauling ass. It does just fine. If you're ever in Eco mode and you need to, say you're on the highway, you're going like 60 miles an hour, you're in Eco mode and you need to pass somebody quickly, if you grab and hold this left paddle down, it'll actually knock the transmission down to its lowest possible gear, raise the RPMs to give you the boost you need to like take off fast before resetting itself. So that's kind of nice. It won't charge you for that bit of information. And then, but yeah, you have, if you just hit Eco, you can go, if you hit it again, it'll switch between Eco Pro Standard and Individual, which is nice. Then you have Comfort. So I just have regular Comfort. If you have like a 5 Series or like adaptive suspension or something, you'll have Comfort Plus, which is you can tailor the adjustments more. Now, if you have Beamer code, you can actually code Comfort Plus into this car. I see no point in it, because if I do it, I don't have adaptive suspension. It won't make the car even softer than it already is. So I just skip that. Here's the nice one. So you have Sport. So in Sport, in the 3 Series at least, and I know a lot of other BMWs do this, there's a flap in the exhaust that'll open when the car's in Sport under the right conditions. You can actually hear it. That's why I was quiet. I was trying to pick it up on the mic. I don't think you guys can hear it, but you can actually hear it in the back of it. The right passenger side tailpipe will actually open a flap so it'll breathe more and make more sound, basically. So you have normal cars will have Sport and Individual, or Standard Individual. I coded it in Sport Plus. So actually when you put in Sport Plus, you'll actually see an edge shows up on this. I don't know why, but you can configure it. So Sport steering, Sport suspension, Sport transmission. I noticed that in Standard is just normal driving, and Individual, they both do normal Sport things. They hold the RPMs up, they cancel out auto stop start, and they just fire off a little bit better. Like the best way to explain is if I'm holding the gas pedal down at 25% in Eco Pro and I don't give it any more to throttle, I just push Sport, the car will actually crank up the RPMs and start pulling harder. So it like less retards the throttle, if that makes sense. Now, and I don't know if you guys can hear this, but let's try doing a Comfort rev. And then when you put it in sport, it'll actually open up the exhaust flap, but also kick in the fake pumped-in audio. And then just to give you guys a little taste of this, I'm gonna go actually tripod the GoPro outside. Let me pull these tripod arms out for you guys. How do I? There we go. And don't mind me. Just put this right over here. So if you guys saw, the first set of revs was in sport, and then when it started, which if you guys noticed, it was crackling, which is really nice. When I put it in Sport Plus, which I coded, Sport Plus is not standard in this model. When I coded in Sport Plus, it makes the transmission shift harder and faster, holds the RPMs even more than in Sport, and it actually makes it crackle and pop more. Backfire maybe? So Sport Plus, if you code it into your car, will make the car crackle and pop more than it normally does. Oh god, it sounds so good. But normally when I'm just driving and I want it in a sporty mode, I'll keep it in Sport Standard Individual. So it's just because Sport Plus holds the RPMs like more for longer. So we're gonna go for a little bit of a drive. But those are the modes. Now, there's also another mode. It's only for the transmission. So if you keep the car in comfort, well, you can do it in any mode, honestly. But let's say the car's in comfort and we just click the we're in drive. You click this over. Now, just to show you guys something. So, if you notice over here, the light for the auto start stop is off, which means it's on. The system is on. You bump the transmission shifter, it just turned on. Because now we're in sport transmission mode, so it says S1. So we're not in manual mode, we're still in regular mode, but we're in the sport transmission setting, in comfort, and it shuts off the auto start stop. It just makes the car shift a little faster and a little bit, I wouldn't say smoother, but it's a little bit quicker. But we'll go for a drive. See, it's holding the RPMs, which like it normally won't do. So let's go this way. It lets you get right, and see how it holds the RPMs? Third gear is kind of long in this car, which is kind of nice. Now we're at Sport 5. Now if we kick the transmission back into normal, 6, 7. It'll take a lot longer for it to upshift, basically. It's still gonna upshift to 7th gear. It just takes a little bit longer for it to actually upshift itself. We'll put the car in sport mode right here and make a U-turn and just nail the throttle. We're in sport individual now. So as you can see, it pulls. And then sport transmission, as you can see, just raise the revs. But third gear is just so long. And then if you actually kick it into manual mode, it'll crackle and pop when you downshift, and it won't upshift or downshift for you. Pop, 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 pop. It won't upshift or downshift for you. So you can actually like kick it into like, I'm in 4th gear right now, and I can floor it in 4th gear and it's fine. So those are the different modes. Hold on, kick it back into normal. those are the different modes in your BMW. That's kind of a quick explanation on what they do. Eco Pro does save you fuel. Sport does hold the RPMs higher. If you want more crackling and popping, Sport Plus will give you those crackles and pops that you want. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. Try to respond. I'm gonna put the links for the descriptions of the items I use in this video, like my GoPro, my media mod. Hopefully the audio is turning out better. I'm trying different things to give you guys more crystal clear audio. I do prefer like not using anything when I'm in a car like this because you guys can hear me just fine, but when I step outside, there's too much outside noise. So hopefully this is working out for you guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But let's just let's get out of here. Oh, and I forgot, the steering wheel gets a little bit heavier. For me, I forget about that because I have it in the heavy setting all the time. I have the steering in the heavy setting all the time. For like Eco, that's why my Eco Standard is normal steering. My Eco Individual is like the heavy steering, sport steering. But I normally keep it in sport steering in all modes. I just like that, except for comfort. Comfort won't let me adjust it. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks for tuning in, people.